Hi, I want you to enjoy this small overview about handling change and show you some key principles in understanding what's happening and problem solving it, coming up with a solution and being able to follow through on it.
This is a brief intro to Reframe and its perspective on handling change. First of all, we use the image of the Reframe pyramid. It has three sections to it. At the top, the ruling section is our ideas about what's okay and what's not okay. It sounds a little simple, but it'll cover it just for us now. Then, at the base of the pyramid, the idea of giving and receiving is the basic connection we make with ourselves, with others, with life. The giving and the receiving of all sorts of different things. And sitting in between our sense of what's okay and our experience of giving and receiving, there's a part of us that monitors whether there is a change between what we think is okay and what's actually happening, and it's monitoring it all the time. And when there's a change in our experience of giving and receiving that clashes with what we think's okay, depending on the level of okay, we might just handle it and persist. But if it's really important to us, we might just get upset and respond from there. So with OK and the top of the pyramid, we have these perceptions of being okay, our ideas about ourselves, who we are, feeling okay in terms of safety, risk, frustration, discomfort, all sorts of ideas there about what it means to feel okay. And lastly, doing okay. This mostly means doing it right, doing it effectively, doing it successfully, achieving, performing. All of those ideas there, where we say something is okay or not okay. In the same way, at the bottom, where we have the base of giving and receiving, it essentially involves four different actions. All of the actions can be summed up with these four. The idea of giving, providing, supplying, or not giving, providing, supplying, or doing. The idea of getting, as in receiving, consuming, accepting, and not getting. And those essentially are the four different areas of giving and receiving, which really just simply describe behaviour by observation. It does not include values. Values are held in our idea of what's okay. So in between okay and giving and receiving, we have our ideas about change. Okay, of course, influences what we feel is okay to get or give that's different or new or unusual, and what's okay to give or get what's usual or the same, or what's already happened, or maintaining something that we value highly. On our experience side, of course, we're monitoring through what we give and receive, or not give and or not receive, when things suddenly change for us, and whether or not they're staying the same. And between these two, we have this monitoring of change, the difference between our map of what we value and our experience. Change maps how our expectations match or mismatch in giving and receiving. turn it on its side, just to give you another angle on this, we have the OK factors at the top, the give and receive factors at the bottom, and change is comparing the two and seeing whether or not they match or are equal. And of course, what happens when there's a mismatch? We have a clash, things don't match, and of course that provokes us to act until things again become equal, or consonant versus dissonant. So we have the OK and the give and receive. We might give an OK to get or give something different, make something new, make an initiative, but we might be blocked by getting the same old and no change in the give and receive. How upset we are will really hinge on what we think is not okay and how much it is not okay. The same way, in between the two, we can have an okay to give or get things that need to stay the same, but we get things suddenly changing or becoming different from what we're expecting to stay the same. And this can upset the apple cart, again depending on our okay factor. You can have the okay and the give and receive, and reframe is about moving from dissonance to consonance, from a mismatch to a match. We might, for example, give an okay to get something different, but get something the same, or to move towards consonance, we might take action in our giving and receiving so that we actually receive the new change that we want. Again, same scenario. We might give an okay to get something different, but get the same old, nothing changing. This time, instead of taking action, we adjust our okay factors to reduce the importance, reduce the urgency, to persist a little bit. Or it might even be that we change our whole value system if we realize that it's faulty values, so that we accept what's happening and what cannot change, even with our best efforts. So we have the OK sandwich between give and receive. We solve unmet expectations of change by taking action so we get change, and if we can't make change happen out there, we might have to make adjustments in our okayness in terms of what's okay. When our ideas of okay and our giving and receiving matches, we'll largely resolve upsets that we have. Except where our okays are distorted and nothing we give or receive will ever be able to meet what we think makes something okay. We'll need to deal with how we're valuing, and there's a separate presentation about this whole factor.